we're going to swiftly move on to our next presentation from Kohler. We're going to hear from Mr. Bisham Dhingra, who is the head of residential hospitality and commercial businesses for Kohler. And when I asked Mr. Bisham, what are you going to be speaking about? He told me that he's going to be sharing various consumer insights with all of us today. So it's over to you, Mr. Bisham.
Okay.
And one more thing, this presentation is going to start with a video.
Okay.
Castles, oceans, and lagoons in the place we call home. Bowl is where everyone comes to play. Starting our day off to the good dance and singing us to sleep at night. Coloring our lives in ways only Bowl could do. It's no wonder Bowl will make your reality a dream.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Can the table number 20 hear me? Can you guys hear me? Yeah. Okay, the backbenchers are the naughty sorts. So always careful with them. So my name is Bisham Dhingra. I head the, as Sunny said, I head the residential, commercial, and hospitality business for Kohler. Can I have the clicker, please? Okay. So before I start, whenever I'm in front of the audience like this, my prof in college used to say that people who have no power and no point make a lot of PowerPoints. So, and that gives me a scare because what I'm going to talk and whether the audience will be engaged or not. So let me take my chances again and start with my PowerPoint. And let me start by giving you a very interesting insight about the company I work for, which is Kohler. So there's a very interesting story about Kohler. Kohler started 140 plus years back. And it started as a farm equipment company in one of the sleepy areas of Wisconsin called Sheboygan. And there was a huge slowdown during that time. So the founder of the company, John Michael Kohler, said that what do I do to increase my sales? So what he did, he took a humble horse trough, put a beautiful enamel on that, put 4 wheels on that, and voila, you had the world's first bathtub. And that's how Kohler came into this business. And that's the story. The reason for telling you this story is because the innovation is at heart of whatever we do. And you're going to see more of it as I move forward. Another very interesting fact is that what was the price of that bathtub? It was 1 cow and 14 chickens. That was the price at which it was sold But what is more interesting is that what did John Michael Kohler do with those chickens and cow? They transformed the company into a multi-billion-dollar juggernaut. Being in more than 100 countries, they are in four different set of businesses. I represent one of the businesses, which is kitchen and bath. Kohler is also into power business. Kohler is also into hospitality business, golf business, and interiors business. So let me cut short and let me bring you to the fact why I'm here. I'm here to share a lot of insights with you. We do a lot of market research. So what I've done is I've cut those research and take out the data which is relevant for the audience sitting here, which is hospitals and healthcare. So we went to the customers, consumers, and we asked them a lot of questions. There are a few findings. I don't know all of you can read it or not. So let me just breeze through this. So we asked the users. Users are your patients, attendants at the hospitals. That what do they look into a bathroom or bathroom product when they are inside a hospital? Very simple, generic answer that it has to be easy to use because I may or may not be in condition to use complicated or high on design or technology products which I have at my home. And second, again very commonsensical is that bathroom needs to have a clean look because hospitals, infections, being dirty, your mind will not recuperate, right? Again, very sensible insight. What did the staff tell us? Your staff. Your staff told us that they need bathroom products which are easy to clean, right? Because bathroom can really be nasty, right? After use. So they need products which are easy to clean, and they need products which are easy to clean so they can easily have a very high TAT, which is turnaround time. They can turn around the handover of the room quickly, and they don't want bathroom be part of it, because bathroom takes a lot of time to clean, right? Toilet takes a lot of time to clean. So they need a higher turnaround time. Also, very interestingly, from consumer point of view, and more, you would know this better than me or anybody else, that hospital is moving from, it's just not a place for a treatment and recuperation, but rejuvenation, where bathroom is starting to play a very important role. A lot of you would be having aquatherapy and other things being introduced at your hospitals. So that's becoming more important. If you're from North, you would agree with this slide at this point that typically you have attended more than birthday parties in your rooms, right? More and more people come to meet you, greet you, assuming that you're a nice person. If you're a nasty person, nobody's going to come, right? And that's where another insight comes in, that attendance also expects their home away from home experience, because it's a very stressful time when they're there, right? And a lot of guests are also coming in, and you are in your, I think they will work more that even if it's a hospital, you're going to have juices and whatnot in the room to treat them. Which brings me to the most interesting point of the research we did. Is that actually, if you notice, if you're sitting here, or just close your eyes and go back to your hospital, if you are in a room of a hospital, from a consumer, from a patient, from an attendant point of view, you don't know which brand of tiles being used. You are not aware what is the brand of paint being used. You are not aware of the brand of electrical being used. The only consumer brand you are familiar with inside the room is either the electronics, which is TV, or the brand inside the bathroom. Because that's the only place where brand is visible, right? So what does this mean? This means that now with your room monetization strategy of premium, standard, luxury suites, where you are trying to monetize your rooms in a segmented manner, the consumer, the patient, the attendant who are coming in also needs gratification and reason for being to pay you more. They need to appreciate the fact that if you are charging them a fees which is just, I'm not saying you are being unfair in charging whatever you are charging, but they need to feel that for the room and the bed you are paying, it needs to have those facilities which is worth the money. And that's where we as a sanitary brand or any other sanitary brand becomes the brand ambassador of the building materials. Because this is the only category in building materials where a consumer can see a brand prominently, right? And I want you to go and check, when you go back into your hotel room, right? You'll not be seeing anything else but a prominent bathroom brand. So where does Kohler comes and add value here? So as far as Kohler brand is concerned, we have the highest level of awareness inside the sanitary category amongst luxury and premium income segment. So you might say, Bishop, all right, I understand you are at 70-80% awareness, but there are a lot of brands which are not multinationals, which are Indians, but they also have very high or maybe higher than your brand awareness. That's a very pertinent point, but that's where Kohler is in that sweet spot, where within the Indian brands, whenever you see, or whatever you see, because these are internal research, so I'm not able to show you the brand names, when you see those Indian brands inside the bathroom, you start associating your building material as budget. You don't associate social prestige. For the brands where you associate social prestige, which are the more or less the multinational brands, people are not aware of them. So that's where Kohler today is in that sweet spot, where the brand awareness is also very high, and people who are aware of the brand associate it at a very high level of social prestige. So when you put a Kohler in your bathroom, inside your facility, the brand perception about building material goes up significantly. And let me put it down here that I'm not saying that if you put Kohler, people will come to your hospital. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that if you put Kohler in your bathroom, apart from other functional benefits which I'll come to, perception of your building material, high spec building material which you are using, will be further multiplied and glorified. Which brings me to my next point, that as a supplier, we are a full bathroom supplier. So you don't need to go to different vendors to buy your faucets, buy your toilet seats, to buy your basins. We are a one-stop shop for bathroom materials. So less pain. Also very important is the fact that we have invested a lot in India. We have a very robust supply chain. We actually have 2 plants in India already. These plants are in Gujarat. We in India sell 70% of the produce which is manufactured in these plants and 30% is imported. And this plant, I'm very proud to say, that exports out to Europe and to US and to Latin America, because Kohler follows a singular level of quality across its 52 manufacturing facilities. Which means that the products which you buy in US of Kohler are the same quality as you buy in India and vice versa. Right? Also, it brings in supply chain reliability. The last thing you want your hospital to be postponed for inauguration is bathroom products not being there. And trust me, it happens. So our fill rate today is amongst the best in the industry. So what you order and you give us a forecast of, we will deliver. So let me come and in a very short span of time tell you, see, my Nisham, you have a great brand, you have a great service, but are your products meant for my facility, or they are meant for high-end residences, or high-end projects, residential projects, or hospitality? No, they are also meant for facilities like yours. For example, if I take a product which is called as Modern Life, it's a pure rimless toilet. It's very easy to clean, and very subtle things in a toilet on how you're going to operate the toilet. Right? For example, the inside says that Indian consumers don't like touching the ceramic bowl. They perceive it to be dirty. Right? So in this product, we have this. If you see the third picture here, we have made a small place where somebody can lift the seat without touching the ceramic bowl. Very simple thing, but very insightful. Giving that experience to a consumer which takes the gracious standard of your facility a notch higher. Right? If I give you another example of a product, so let me tell you about a technology we have launched, a technology called NXT. You might find it funny, but we actually go and put cameras in people's bathroom after taking their permissions. Right? And we do a lot of research. Right? How they shower, because it's a very intimate space. You don't share your bathroom with anybody. Right? So for example, we have designed these toilets for Indian bums. So the drop zone, right? That's a neat way of saying it, right? The drop zone is designed for Indian bums so it does not give stains. The waste is not visible, right? In these toilets, you're not able to see the waste because they go and it goes inside the slum, the backward slum, right? So you actually don't see the waste. Again, adding to the gracious living standards. Another very interesting product which a lot of hospitals take, I'll take 1 more minute on this, is a product called Pure Clean. I'll show you the video. This product, what it does, it is meant for kids, for elderly, and for healthy people also. So what this product does is that it takes the jet and eliminates the health faucet. It's a non-electronic product. So for example, the problem with health faucet is that if the patient is not well, you can't operate a health faucet, right? Because it takes pressure, it takes strength to press it, and you cannot regulate the water pressure, and it can cause very grave injuries, right, in your rectum. So what Pure Clean does is that it has got an intuitive way of telling you that there are handles, and you can regulate your water nozzles through your hand very easily, and I'll show it to you later on. So this is one of the few examples of what we are doing. We call this product as Pure Clean, doing very well. We also have antibacterial technology where we claim that at 99% probability it would be bacteria free, and also with strains like E. coli. A lot of people associate Kohler with British products, but actually very interesting that we sell more faucets and CP. CP is chrome polished products which are your taps, showers, more than British. So for a facility like yours where hygiene is very important, perceived hygiene is equally important, is that we have sensor faucets in all shapes, sizes and fittings. We also have developed for India, a technology called Safe Shield, the water already is very polluted, right? So, and we don't change our faucets every day. We change them 5 to 7 years, right? So what you don't know is what is happening with the water and the metal inside the faucet. It becomes more contaminated, right? And a patient who is recuperating, it can become more problematic. Also, when the water is very hot, sometimes you would have seen that the tap is burning, scalding, right? So we have made a technology called Safe Shield, which takes plastic, which of food grade quality, and the water does not touch the faucet. So there is no probability of scalding, and the probability of water further deteriorating goes down drastically. So we have enough and more products for Indian market. We also have products which are ADA compliant, which is American Disability Act compliant. We have grab bars. So we are a one-stop solution even for hospitals, and a lot of hospitals buy from us. My last slide would be on the most important thing for your facilities is the after-sales service. And standing here, I can throw up a challenge to anybody in the room, is just call this number right now if you want. And here's the deal. Somebody from my office, from my customer care center, will pick up your phone within 10 seconds, right? Somebody, after registering a complaint or a feedback on installation services which you want, somebody would be at your home at 99.8% probability within 24 hours. And with 98% probability that that person will solve your problem within those 24 hours. Nobody in this industry gives that kind of service quality and after-sales service commitments. And all the more important for you because you don't want your room to be vacant because the bathroom is not working. Right? With that, thank you. One person at least. Yeah. So with that, thank you. And I have one more video. So this is basically our NPS chart which says that we do a lot of, as I told you, a lot of research. So people who buy from us, at 95% level, they come back to us because of our good service, right? So with that, I have one more video to play for purity. And thank you very much for your time. I'm sorry I overshot.
Hands are made to play. Hands are made to share. Hands are made for joy.
Kohler presents Pure Clean, multi-function bidet seats. Enjoy hands-free hygiene for your everyday routine.
Hands are made for love.
Right. I think we had one question from the gentleman. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Right. That's a very good question. Sure. Yes. Aesthetically, absolutely. 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 I agree with you. So we are a premium brand, right? So we are always, and we are premium because we have a great brand and we have great products. At quality level, just to tell you, on faucets, we have something called acidic salt spray test, which is a standard test. So basically it tells that how much in Indian water conditions, how long a particular company's faucet or CP products can withstand. Indian standard is 24 hours. So if a product comes up to 24 hours in acidic salt spray, that means it is okay in a green signal, that it can okay for Indian environment. Most of the companies, including multinational companies, go up to 24 to 36 hours. We go up to 48 hours. That means technically, in the same water quality, our product will be double the life of a normal product. So ours is more value driven premiumness, functionality driven premiumness. As far as specific concern, if your question is versus X brand, how much premium would we charge? It would vary from product to product. But I can tell you that we sell a bathroom between 30,000 to 35 lakhs. So we are there in the complete spectrum. Yes, even with healthcare perspective, we have intelligent toilets, which we don't recommend because it's a slightly complicated product, but a lot of hospitals in US are already putting it up. In India, we are not recommending those products yet, but we have, for example, we have just launched a digital shower, which gives you a spa and aquatherapy, which few hospitals are exploring. So, but a normal budget can be as low as 25 to 30,000, depending on your product selection for a bathroom. That's the, including the CP as well as the VC. That's the average. But most of these products are value added, so they will be slightly higher. But if you want to take from our basket of products, we will surely fit your budget for sure. It's try to one of three. So yeah, I hope I answered the question.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bishop.